All right, team, welcome back. My name is Chris Ashnelli, and I get to build, buy, and sell simple profit businesses every single day. And today's going to be a unique video for us. We are actually excited to share that we are launching a brand new website for simpleprofits.io. So for those of you that are not familiar, we do build, buy, and sell simple profit businesses every single day through Bootstrapper Capital, our micro private equity firm. And the things that we do for ourselves, we also do for others. And we do that through our advisory firm, Simple Profits, right? So very on point, on brand, on message for all of the right reasons and probably more. And for a long time, we've had a really, really, really simple site. And we've gotten a lot of feedback while we've been talking about Simple Profits and working folks through the program and perfecting how we build wedge equity and what the heck wedge equity even is and all these other trials and tribulations that come with launching and scaling an advisory firm to get it to seven figures, right? We've been listening and we've taken it all into account. We've heard and appreciated the feedback, and I'm excited to share that we've tried to implement that feedback into our new version of the new website, which is now live as of today, actually. So an exciting day for us. We tried to still keep it simple, of course, so it's not going to be this crazy website with all of these bells and whistles and all these complicated functionalities. For the most part, we just want to provide folks the information that they need to be able to make a good, timely decision, and then make it super simple for them to raise their hand and opt in and become a part of this journey, right, that we support, which is called investorpreneurship towards simple, profitable outcomes, right? So if it feels right, if the messaging resonates, we want to make it super simple for somebody to get started. And for today's video, what I was hoping to do was everything starts somewhere. This is now, and we are just getting going with this version of the site. And I was actually going to hopefully ask for a little bit of help. So this was going to be a slightly different approach to a video. I wanted to go through the new version of the website and actually talk through the rationale and the why, right? So specifically the why behind why we approached it the way that we did, why we structured it the way that we did, why we used the messaging, the intentional messaging that we did. And then land this video with a small ask. And the small ask would be, if you visit the site and check it out, give it a once over. If you spot anything, let us know. And regardless, give us some feedback, right? So the call to action is simple. It's come and visit simpleprofits.io, take a look at the site. Hopefully after you watch this video and you understand the why behind it, join the community and go through the onboarding experience. So what we're really looking to do is get some feedback in terms of making sure that the user experience and the user flow, specifically from coming to the site to then getting into the community and getting activated with all the free things that we offer to help support investpreneurs on their build, buy, sell journey, right? So what we're hoping to do is get some feedback on that. And as a part of that ask, you would be able to get involved with the community, which again is 100% free and it's super bootstrapper friendly. But B, we want to put together something extra special. So for anybody who actually takes some urgency out of this call to action, and we'll probably bookend it around like the first 30 or so folks that actually take some action off of this and actually go to the site, provide us feedback, come into the community, and then on the backside of the community, find me and message me, which you'll find me all over the place. Super simple to do so. And let me know that you did and provide a little bit of feedback, critical feedback on your experience. I will give you something very, very special as a thank you, right? So you get more by giving than by taking. I would appreciate you taking a little bit of your time and giving some valuable feedback. In exchange, I am putting together something very, very awesome and very, very special that I will in exchange give back to you with hopes of helping you on your journey. So that being said, let's actually jump into today's video. We'll make it kind of a teach, train, equip. It's fairly meta, so it's us actually breaking down our own site, which, we should probably do more often, realistically. I know that we do this for other folks' sites and the why behind, why you build things to be able to capture and convert demand. Let's jump into it. So the site is simpleprofits.io. We could not buy the .com when I first acquired the Simple Profits brand, maybe 3 years ago or so. we were able to buy, I love simple profits, right? So we're all about simple profitable outcomes, right? We provide the structure, strategies, and accountabilities to help folks get to simple profitable outcomes. That's what we do at Bootstrapper Capital. That's what we're all about. Simple, keep it simple, simple profitable outcomes. So Simple Profits was just like a brand we needed to own. Like we really wanted it super bad. And we were able to buy the .io, and we ended up stacking the .io for all of our pillar brands. So we have simpleprofits.io, we have simplebroker.io, we have simplecapital.io. So a lot of our pillar brands inside of the portfolio that kind of provide a lot of the economic service and advisory service and value service and capital service, et cetera, to be able to help support what we're doing with our ecosystem. They kind of follow that same similar branding. As a part of this rebrand and relaunch of the site, we did a full rebrand of the logo. So definitely let me know in the comments below what you think of this new logo. We tried to simplify it down. If you guys remember what the old logo used to look like, it was, not only on the website, but it was also through the newsletter and on the YouTube channel. Actually, the banner of the old YouTube channel had the old logo on it. A buddy of mine actually created that a long time ago, like again, years ago. And we never really did anything with it. I thought it was a cool design, and we wanted to incorporate it and pay it forward a little bit with some appreciation. So we did, but the feedback that we got was it didn't really fit on point with the brand of simple, right? Keep it simple. So what we tried to do with this new logo redesign is simplify it down. We really wanted to keep a simple font structure, and inclusive in that, we wanted the simple to be lighter and the profits to be bolder. Right. So we really wanted to keep the simplicity around the simple branding. And then we did the same thing. We took this model and we played it out for each of the other logos across our pillar companies. So you got simple being very consistent across all of our various brands inside the portfolio. And then the nomenclature word profits or broker or capital being bold, right? And being, accentuated in it. And then the .io to keep the branding consistent. I don't know if I love the .io because it actually throws off the balance of the words. For the most part, all of our brands are fairly balanced in terms of the words themselves, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So fairly balanced in terms of the number of words. That being said, we kept the .io in because for branding's sake, we just didn't want to drive any confusion. And we want to really, make sure that folks know you got to go to the .io to be able to get access. In terms of the top banner here, this is something that we popped on in the last version of the site. We are trying to really grow the YouTube channel, as you guys know. So definitely like and subscribe for, those of you watching us on YouTube right now. We want to grow the channel out. It's a new initiative. We're about, maybe 30 days in. We have a challenge where we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, 100 videos, and 100,000 views. And right now, we're trending in the direction of 100. So I'm quite literally posting every single day, right? Just show up, trust the process, commit to the journey, just show up every single day. And I am, right? So we're trying to get the videos out every single day so that we can commit to this challenge that we set for ourselves of getting to 100 videos fast. And then hopefully in the process, we can build up the channel, get to 1,000 subscribers, get to 100,000 views, which is 1,000 views per video, which we felt would be realistic. We're trending towards like 400 or 500 on average per video right now. And then we have a handful that are over 1,000. So it's actually starting to look there. The subscriber count is definitely low though. So this is a call to action banner. And we know from past experiments that this does actually drive click-throughs. We typically use it for the newsletter to drive subscribers to the newsletter. It's slightly off-centered from the logo, but again, that's I think because the logo with the .io is slightly off-center. But that's maybe something I got to check out. Maybe it's this little X box over here that's throwing it off. But if you click on this, we have it so it auto subs. So you just do a question mark and then sub_confirmation equals 1. And that's a little YouTube hack where if you put that at the end of any URL on YouTube, redirecting to a video, it will automatically subscribe the folks who click on it to your channel. So then in the over here on the side, we got the login. This, of course, goes to the community. We kept that simple. That's how it's been consistently across the board for all of our sites. So we didn't want to change that user experience. And then we get right into the menu here, the nav. And in our situation, we wanted to keep it simple, right? So the previous version of the site had our story. It had the get capital, which links back out to Bootstrapper Capital. And then we have free content, which the free content is where we're trying to drive engagement into the things, the media platforms that we're systematically trying to grow. So we're very much so trying to grow the YouTube channel, the community, of course, we're building up, and that's the whole point of all of this stuff, is to convert more folks to the community. And then our newsletter is like a huge initiative that we're really trying to push. We made a number of acquisitions. I've done some other videos on how we've acquired newsletters over the past year and change, and how we're slowly building up a 100,000 subscriber newsletter for Simple Profits. And it's been a journey. It's been a process. Like, there's so many things that have come out of that. There's so many lessons learned, lots of challenges, like way more challenges than I ever thought going into it. But that's the whole point of all of this, right? So you get to experience it. You create some theses. You have a hypothesis. I think this will be it. And then you just go do it and you find it out, right? Just get it done. And we learned a ton, and there's definitely going to be more videos to come around that. And we are slowly building up our newsletter right now as we're getting it back to market and getting it to where we want to be. The new addition here on the menu is the wedge equity. And let me know your thoughts in the comments if you like this. We get a lot of questions of wedge equity, right? So like, what is wedge equity, right? That's like a ton of the questions that we get. Again, wedge equity is our thing. That's what we build, right? That's what we're becoming the best in the world at, right? So with Bootstrapper Capital, we specialize in building wedge equity, because when we build wedge equity, we make a company more valuable. And by making a company more valuable, that's how we grow our portfolio. We get into good deals, right? Like, that's what we need to do as a micro private equity firm. So what we do for ourselves, we then try to do for others through Simple Profits. That's the whole scope. That's the whole point. That's the whole purpose. So we are very much so trying to own the brand that is wedge, right? We want to own the brand that is simple. We want to own the brand that is profitable. We want to own this concept of wedge equity and building wedge equity as a micro private equity firm. And we do very much so want to become the best in the world at it, right? I am very much so committed and convinced that by the time that my days are done here, there's a good chance that if I'm not the best, I will be one of the best, period, spot on in the world at doing this. Because it's just what I care about the most. I'm very passionate. I put in the hard work every single day. I'm a student of the craft, right? And I'm constantly building things that kind of not only drive my picture further, but also hopefully, others as well. And it just makes you better. You got to put in your 10,000 hours and you got to sharpen your axe, but then you have to have a really strong why. And my why is super, super strong. It's so aligned with everything that I'm committed to doing. So we want to own this brand of wedge. But, we get this question. So I put this here, the wedge equity with a question mark. I don't know if that's the right action. So we're going to track whether or not folks scroll up and click there or not, right? So I don't know if folks are asking that question of wedge or, what is it? We'll see. So that's going to be one of the things that, from an analytical perspective, we're going to take a little bit of a quantitative data based off of the heat mapping of the site to be able to optimize it over time. That then gets us into this H1 here, right above the fold. Build better wedge equity and unlock simple, profitable outcomes. This is different than the original copy. The original copy was transform trapped capital into wedge equity, right? So that was where we landed with the original copy. And again, it left folks with this concept of, what is wedge equity? And what we did drive good value proposition into was the concept of transforming trapped capital. And that was a great conversation starter. What I would like to really focus on in this rebrand and where we're going with things is this kind of concept of build better, right? I think that the concept of build better is going to be very close to home with what's important to us in terms of branding, right? Like, a lot of what we do is all about building a better business, right? So we build better businesses as bootstrappers on a budget, right? We're build better on a budget, right? We're build better as a bootstrapper on a budget, right? So a lot of what we're doing is trying to build better. So I did want to incorporate that word there right up front. So build better, because that's what we want to do. That's what we want to help folks and drive folks towards, build better and you're building better through the structure strategies and the accountabilities to get to simple profitable outcomes. So I focused on build better wedge equity. I highlighted wedge equity because, again, it's that thing that I want people to ask, like, well, what is wedge, right? And we want to own the concepts, we want to own the brand, so we got to educate the market to be able to assume and associate wedge equity with us. So we're going to keep on hammering our home at it until we decide maybe not to anymore. But as of this point, I don't think that that's going to be the case. And then the and became the transition into where we were originally, right? So the first iteration of Simple Profits, even as a concept in an advisory firm when we were coming to market, it was all about structure strategies and accountabilities to get to simple, profitable outcomes, right? So that's what we do with Bootstrapper Capital. It's all about structure strategies and accountabilities to get to simple, profitable outcomes. So I wanted to incorporate back that concept of simple, profitable outcomes. And in that situation, I use the word unlock, because that's what we're really trying to do. Is we're trying to, there's all this trapped wedge equity. There's all this trapped equity inside of every business. And through our structures and strategies and the accountabilities that you hold each other to, we're unlocking that, right? And that's how we're really transforming businesses. And that's how we're unlocking these simple, profitable outcomes. So it's very, for a lot of reasons, spot on to like the ethos of who we are and what we're about. But again, curious, like, how does it land with you? So when you're, looking at this with your eye, right, there's a story behind it for me, right? So I have tunnel vision, right? I have rose-colored glasses with all this stuff. There's a why behind it for me. So I'm curious, like, generally just coming at it cold, how does this land, and can we improve it? So please, leave your thoughts and comments below. Share with me inside the community. And then the next we have is our higher valuations, better terms on investment, larger exit multiples. And this is critically important. This is, I don't think, ever going to change, because this is quite literally the why. This is why somebody should be doing this. This is the why we do it, right? We do it for ourselves because it's all about getting to higher valuations. We don't necessarily personally, selfishly care too much about terms on investment because, we're either the ones making the investment or we don't really raise, too much capital. But it's, it's not a bad thing. And a lot of the folks that we work with on the Simple Profits advisory side do, and it does matter. So this isn't a direct impact of better terms on investment. So if you're going the capital track, Bootstrapper Capital, we're a little bit, prejudiced against the concept of bootstrapping and not raising capital, building a better business, right, on a budget. But, for the reality is like most folks, in our space, they do end up raising capital. If you're going to raise on better terms, you know what I mean? So we help folks do that. And then you got larger exit multiples, which that's what we're all about, right? So we get to higher valuations so that we can get to larger exit multiples. And at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is, again, unlock this trapped equity, right, to build the wedge so that we can, get to larger exit multiples so that the businesses in which we buy are worth more. And that's why you build wedge, right? And then we highlight the fact that we are, in our minds, in our opinion, the number one most bootstrapper friendly advisory firm. We are quite literally the advisory arm of Bootstrapper Capital. So I think that there's a lot of credibility behind that. And quite literally everything that we've done in terms of our approach, the way in which we price our services, most of what we do is a give for free, give a tremendous amount of value before we ever position any sort of partnership. And we do genuinely position a partnership to be able to capture any sort of economic terms inside of our advisory business. So we do run a for-profit advisory business. It's an advisory business that we have, and we have to charge revenue. But we've created such a bootstrapper friendly structure to be able to do so. And it's at the end of the day, it's subsidized by our capital company and our capital stack. So we have like a better business system ourselves to be able to support this. But, just want to highlight that. And then boom, right there, you got the first call to action to join the free community. And I don't know if free community is the right word to use. So that's another thing I'm looking for feedback on, both, quantitative feedback from the analytics that we're going to be pulling off of folks visiting. And then also your qualitative feedback in terms of opinions, thoughts, and feelings, right? I don't know if free community is the right call to action, or not, or if we could get something else, like start, build wedge now, or I don't know, something else that drives more action. And then as you scroll, we're trying to fade away from the rest and then highlight sign up now. And this diagram, which I don't love this. I think we're going to redesign. This is like actually the third iteration of our wedge equity little graphic. Like the first one was two circles and a dot, a line in the middle, and the other circle being bigger. Because I just wanted it to be like so simple, like almost like a play on, pun on the word of simple, that is so simple, like my kids drew it or something, but people just didn't understand it. Like it was too simple. It didn't make sense. So then we went through more of a complicated version. And this is right now where we landed, where people look at this picture and based off of the kind of like high level surveys that we've taken, people get what it means, right? Like, oh, I get it. Like this is the wedge that we're building to get a more profitable business. But I think we could improve it. So if you guys have any feedback in terms of how we could build a better picture here, very much so interested in that as well. Please share. So that fades away, highlights it. Picture tells 1,000 words. Hopefully we're telling you what wedge equity is. And then you scroll right down to start to answer the questions. And what we learned from the last version of the site is the first question people have, especially when they're dealing with us, is, what is wedge equity and why should I care? So like we're coming right out of the bat with, if you're a business owner, every business owner should care about wedge equity. Okay, every business owner should care about wedge equity. Well, why? Well, my first question is, what is wedge equity? And we try to have this keep it simple, what, why, how, when type of response. That way, when somebody's scrolling on their phone quickly, or if we get lucky enough and they're scrolling down, like it's like, boom, okay, this is the information that I needed to know to kind of continue to go this course. So what is wedge? We say like what it actually is, and then we try to put a simple version in bold. Why is wedge important, right? Again, back to the higher business values, etc. To really earn more money, keep more money, sell for more money. So we try to keep it consistent with like the professional answer, and then we try to simplify it to like the bootstrapper answer, right? And if you guys know us, like with Bootstrapper Capital, it's we try to keep it professional, but we try to keep it simple too. Simple's not always easy, but simple definitely works, right? So we went through this what, why, how, when. And the when becomes the first true call to action. The how is the equation that a lot of the site is based around, which how do you build wedge equity? Well, we've simplified it down to a simple equation. It's operational equity plus brand equity equals the wedge. So if you focus on first part operational, brand, second part, you get to the wedge. So once we answer folks' questions about like, why should I care? We then streamline like right into the first true general, like manufactured call to action of value, right? Like, what do I get out of it if I was to take action right now? And we tried to make it like, common to what a lot of folks are doing to be able to convert. And, it's conversion into value. It's thousands of dollars in value. I don't know how I feel about this. So please let me know in the comments below about the copy here. If we can make it better, I want to make it better. But this is what I've seen a lot of folks do on a lot of really, good converting sites that we know through our network, relationships, etc. So best practices realistically. And why reinvent the wheel? It's all about structure strategies, to get simple profit outcomes. Some of them are going to be from others that we borrow. So that's what we did here. So we wanted to highlight the value, create a sense of let me take action to get this value. And then the traditional kind of icons catch the eye and then tie it into the actual value propositions associated with this thousands in value. Okay, well, what do I get? What type of thousands? Right. Well, you're getting hundreds of hours of structured content, right? Like right now in the community, if you become a advisory client with Simple Profits, so like right now there's just a ton of free content in the community, right? Like we have a really in-depth build, buy, sell bootcamp, which like other folks are selling for thousands of dollars, and ours is, I think, is like 100% comparable. And I know that because I bought the other ones just to take a pulse. But it's like if you're in the business of selling a course on buying businesses, your business is selling a course, not really buying businesses. So we just give it for free, right? So everybody gets access to ours. We give that, we give the operating system, we give like a lot of value for free to folks who come a part of this ecosystem. And then for folks that actually join the advisory, we stack the value so tremendously. So right now, you could literally take our boot camps and show up every single day and have enough content where every day you could show up, complete a module in one of our boot camp courses, and have enough to go the entire year. So like out of the gate, right? That's what we're covering down with. So it's like crazy how much value stack we've tried to put into this, because we've been really intentional. This is a big deal for us. We want to make sure that we do all of this for the right reasons, the right way, right? And make sure that we align it to value. And that's probably we also are giving like a lot for free up front that other people sell. Our value is in capturing a good community, getting folks engaged, getting folks activated, and then realistically being able to do deals on the backside, right? So we just have a better business model that allows us to do this and give like a lot of stuff for free up front. But like, so this whole section kind of is around activating around value. Would love to get feedback on if we could maybe hone in on some of this copy to make it more impactful. And then boom, right here in this section, I love this section. It is the first thing that I would love everybody in the community to do. Pull back curtain. It is actually our sales process, right? So we are a business and we do have a sales process. And I think we have a really good business system that we're building. And a lot of our sales process is designed around getting folks to the valuation design workshop, which is like a tremendous value teach, train, equipped. We host anywhere from a 30-minute to a 60-minute, depending on like the tonality and kind of energy of the group on any given week. But every week, our team, typically one of our leaders, sometimes myself, or some of our brokers, will actually run a true teach, train, equipped. We go through like a nice tight deck around how does a professional buyer value your business? And then the second part is what is wedge equity and how do you manufacture it? So it's like a really great teach, train, equipped around like foundational information. And then the second half of it will jump into the operating system. It's an opportunity for us to make sure that everybody in the call has access to the operating system. So it's a great way to activate people and get to that activation point of implementation and adoption of the operating system, which again, we make for free for everybody in the community because like, why not, right? Like if you've built something of tremendous value, it's better to have folks, kind of use it and appreciate it than to have it locked away. So we want folks to have it. We want folks to have the structures and strategies, and we want this operating system out there, right? And then, so we'll get you the operating system. And then we actually use the operating system and we host like a true workshop where we're activating you inside of the operating system and we're running through the diligence template, how to actually value your business. So we collect information that goes into a true valuation of your business. And we also go through a diligence of your business. So you can see it again from like what a professional buyer is looking at and how you would get a market value. And then if you want to, at the end, the call to action that drives things forward for us is if you want a free valuation and you want a free equity transformation plan, you just share the information with your broker or with one of the equity analysts from our team, and we'll get it for you. So like, love it. Super. I love this section. I think it's a great call out, but anything that we could do to make it better, it's very important for us. So highlighting it and emphasizing it is really important. We'd love your feedback on that. Right after the activation, the valuation workshop, then you're talking about claiming your complementary business operating system. And in this situation, I just wanted to highlight the fact that it's designed on Notion, it's affordable, it's flexible, and free. So it's affordable because it's free. Maybe I have to reword this a little bit because that's a little bit redundant. But I just want to emphasize the fact that it's supposed to be like the most bootstrapper friendly. Everything we do, again, it's for bootstrappers by bootstrappers, right? By us, for us. And, we quite literally care a ton. So we try to make good, timely decisions with everything we do. And we're pretty intentional. Hopefully you can see that through this video, like the amount of thought and care and intentionality that goes into the things that we do. But you have the complementary OS. Hopefully this is like perceived tremendous value because it is extremely valuable. It's an extremely comprehensive operating system. invested a ton of time, talent, resources, capital, etc. into it. You have the call to action on the right-hand side. And then you got the video, which is one of our YouTubes. So getting us those views on YouTube. That's an actual like 60-minute walkthrough of the operating system itself. So this way people can actually experience it and be like, oh, wow, that's a pretty thorough job that these folks did. Let me definitely exchange my email so that I could get that. That's at least worth that value trade-off. Underneath the operating system, we emphasize again the equation. So the how, in terms of how to build wedge equity, it's a simple equation to unlock, right, that trapped capital, unlock the wedge equity. And it's operational equity plus brand equity equals wedge equity. So you got operational equity, which is first get organized, right? So you're getting organized with your operational equity. That really is the starting point. That's you adopting your operating system. That's you implementing your operating system. And then you focus on growing revenue. And if you attend our valuation design workshop, we quite literally show you how this formula works and why, right? So like why a business is valued the way that it is. We go into the details of why the market values businesses the way that they do. And then by focusing, because of those facts, by focusing on these processes and these places and these ways, you can actually build a better business and get it to be more valuable, right? And there's a method to the madness, and it's like process driven in terms of our approach, which is why we're able to offer the community advisory at scale. So then you scroll right down and it's again, boom, keep it simple, right? So we want to keep it simple. We're all about keep it simple. That's a part of our core brand with Simple Profits. This is kind of like a change, right? So we're now changing into this new section. And this new section is really designed to be an activation section. So save time, save effort, save money, right? And I wanted to emphasize, of course, the save money. I don't know if these two fonts are supposed to be the same in terms of size. They don't look like they are. I may want to change that. I also don't know if save time and save effort is the right copy here. I don't know. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I don't know if this is the right type of copy, but I want to focus on keep it simple, what you're going to get. So like why, again, you always lead with the why. Activate into the community, hopefully, conversion point. And then boom, this is how it's done, right? So if you're interested in this stuff, this is what the process looks like. So like those folks that just kind of need to know what's next, right? So we're getting towards the middle of the page here. This is the middle of the website. And we're trying to really like get the folks that are continuing to scroll. Typically those are more pragmatic minds, right? That want more information. So we want to give you the information. So first step is to join our free community, right? You get access to the structured strategies and accountabilities, get simple, profitable outcomes. It's our core primary promise, right? Second, you attend that free workshop, right? So again, that's about the valuation. It's an activation, realistically. We try to drive experiences with the community. So we have all this tremendous value in terms of content. And again, it's like literally a year's worth, like quite literally, you could show up every day, consume and experience one of our modules in one of our boot camps, and you could have an entire year's worth of curriculum, an entire year's worth of content, structured content to go through and consume. That's crazy. Like that's like really wild. It's probably going to be 2 years in no time, soon, which is a crazy thought. So we want to get you activated. So because we have so much content, like we're pretty confident in that side being covered. What we want to focus the majority of our effort and energy on in terms of like intentional actions to foster a better ecosystem and a better community and a better experience is the experiences. So we're really focused on intentionally hosting like really good workshops that are like teach, train, equip, activate type workshops, and then a consistent cadence of events that are good experiences, right? So we want to get you to that workshop. The why, you're going to get the valuation for your business, and you'll also get into the operating system. So we're hoping that those two things are good enough carrots that we can lead folks down that traverse that journey. And then the byproduct of attending the workshop is you're going to get a transformation plan, again, for free. So we quite literally have invested in a team of folks. We've trained a team of folks, and we've recruited and invested in the talent so that we can at scale provide an actual valuation for your business and a step-by-step plan of how you can actually adopt your OS and then build wedge equity, right? To get to the higher valuations, the better terms on investment, the larger exit multiples. Like, this is such a tremendous, amount of value. Yes, we do it because the byproduct of this is, if it makes sense and if something that folks want to continue with, then we convert it into a safer agreement, which our safer is our structure for how we do deals. It's a simple agreement for future exit and revenue repayment. It is like quite literally the most bootstrapper friendly capital deal structure that I've ever seen anybody do. It's all based off of like a buy now, pay later type of structure. So we provide the services up front. So if you were to ever to work with Simple Profits Advisory as like a client, or also a lot of our companies, our core portfolio pillar companies, if it's a pillar company, we typically structure it with a safer. And it's all about like, let's lead and deliver value up front. Let's give. And then after we deliver the value, let's align into your upside, into the wedge, and we'll get paid our fees from a percentage of your upside, from a percentage of your revenue over time. And by doing it like this, what we've been able to do is open up the market where we can actually truly work with real bootstrappers, folks that otherwise typically don't have resources, and very much so just do it themselves because they can't get help from others. So we're trying to really like address a underserved and really overlooked market, which is like tremendously close to our heart. We care a ton about it. So we've put in a lot of time, effort, energy to be able to create a structure that creates the freedom and flexibility for us to do this. So we're proud of it. So we want to exhibit it, and we want a lot of people to know about it. And then boom, we get right into our kind of like social proof at this point, right? I would say like we don't have a lot of social proof, right? So everything starts somewhere. We are where we are. This is the second version of the Simple Profits program. We are on our own journey, Investpreneur's journey, bootstrapping Simple Profits Advisory to a 7-figure business, and we're sharing it in the community in terms of the how and the experience, as well as on YouTube like this. But we don't have like a ton of great case studies that we feel comfortable in terms of the brands and the clients and all those things highlighting it. And we also don't want to really sell into that. Like we'd rather get people to just kind of experience us and like know what we're about and what we offer and how we provide it, and kind of like let the relationship ultimately drive. So for those reasons, we're really focusing heavy on YouTube kind of being that social proof. It's like an opportunity for you to get to know us passively, and this copy could probably be a little bit better. And by probably, I know that it could. So if you have suggestions, please let me know in the comments. But this is all about, you could potentially get to know us passively. Like I know there's so many people that I follow and watch content on with YouTube. And then, like years later, I get the chance to meet them, maybe do like business or whatever the situation is. Or I just get to fanboy on it and nerd out. But like, it's a great way to just kind of passively be a part of someone's journey. So that's what we're hopefully, helping to accomplish here with YouTube to a certain extent. And then also create like a lot of valuable content too. So we could value stack some of that in a scalable way, right? Like if you can invest an hour into a video that could be seen by 1 million people, that's a very valuable hour, right? So there's worse things you could do with your time. And then for me also, like I'm a big believer that over time, all of this video content that's being recorded, like I think it's just going to at some stage be used to teach and train some level of augmented intelligence, artificial intelligence to like mind map you. And I don't think that there's going to be, home videotapes in the future. I think people will just like your kids and your kids are going to just like engage and interact with like a virtual version of yourself. And you kind of need a lot of content to teach and train it the right way. So like, there's also like that, which is a selfish. That's what I tell myself to convince myself to get on camera and do these videos, and commit to trust the process and commit to the journey, which I very much so am. I'm definitely doing at least for the 100. I haven't missed the day yet. So our story, bootstrapping, this is now the story section. So like you went through the process Now it's like anybody who's still here, we want to capture the emotional story and be able to tell, who's a part of this, right? So we have our story, bootstrapping a better business. I did have a video, right? So I have a video of our journey, like 10 years in the making, bootstrapping Bootstrapper Capital. I put it here originally. I took it off because I felt like just too many videos and it didn't really give us the look that we wanted. But let me know in the comments if you think I should put it back. But again, this tells us about, we did it for ourselves, right? So we are bootstrapping a $100 million portfolio and we're doing 100% in public. And we're doing these things for ourselves. And because we do it for ourselves, we do it for others through the advisory firm. And it does focus in on who we specifically, have designed this to be able to help. It's people with less than 2 million in revenue and less than 10 million in funding. Like those are the businesses that we find that we could help them the most, especially in terms of building the wedge. Anything outside of that, it would be more of a one-on-one, more of a curated type of advisory type of approach. And that's not what we're really doing with Simple Profits at the time. So like as of right now, as of record, we will, probably in very short order, we will. We used to. So we started working with middle market clients, and a lot of what we designed was around the middle market. And then we productized and simplified so that we could provide it to more folks at scale to create and capture and deliver more value to more folks that are underserved. And we're really trying to focus on what we believe to be a super underserved portion of the market, and folks that really actually genuinely, for the most part, really need the help, probably the most. So we're trying to focus there. And then once we accomplish that, then we'll probably go back upstream, maybe, or maybe not. So call to actions, right, under the story. And then we get into this kind of end of page reactivation, realignment, some images, get things going, feeling good again. We highlight the Simple Profits playbook. I should probably create a call to action that says you will get the Simple Profits playbook, which is our step-by-step guide on how to optimize a business, right? How we turn around companies. Quite literally, I took my exact process working middle market deals and I just wrote it down and I documented it. And that's what this is. It is like there's no fluff to it at all. It's like literally who, what, when, where, how, why structure of turning around companies. And we offer that in our community for free. And then, we try to address, again, some of the icons type of stuff from the top of the page in terms of the why somebody should get activated and why somebody should get involved. Super bootstrapper friendly. This is all about bootstrapping on a budget. It's like moving things forward, right? You got to have the accountability to be able to keep on the road. We know that most businesses do fail, right? That's okay, right? Most things are okay. You just got to accept it and move past it. And this is a way to just start and simplify and keep going. And then again, it's all about structure, strategies, and accountabilities. One of the things that we did not have in our initial version of the site, and we got called out for all the time, was the FAQ section. So we did. In this version, we built the FAQ and we wanted to be on the home page. And we just want to make it like really interactive where we can answer some of the kind of like general questions. FAQs are great resources, great structures to integrate into your site. I mean, they're slowly becoming replaced by chatbots, very much so, but again, it's something that we missed on the first version and we got quite a bit of feedback about that. And then the bottom here, we're just highlighting our blog, right? So we're going to be building out a pretty aggressive content structure strategy for this site. We want to, even though I genuinely believe that traditional SEO is going to go the way of the dinosaurs with AI, it's going to be augmented in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what that looks like, but I think it's going to be the case. We still want to go pretty heavy while we can. And we have so much content. We have so much content that we could stack this probably pretty aggressively. So we are gonna implement a pretty aggressive content strategy with this site, and there's gonna be like quite a bit of content that gets stacked. Right now, these are just like really placeholders for the most part. There's no real content here. We took some of our initial YouTube videos and things of that nature, and we just kind of put it there. And then you got the call to action at the bottom with the footer. I'm not going to go through, like, interest of time, I'm not going to go through the whole site. If you're willing to, please go on over to simpleprofits.io do it. If you want to even screen share it and give me some feedback, join the community, share it with me in the DM, right? Find me in the community, send me a DM. I'll definitely respond to it. And again, the big promise from the beginning of the video, like I am very much so putting together a very special bootstrapper bundle for probably the first 30 or so folks that take action off of this. Probably like everybody, realistically. Like if you take the time to do this and care enough, I'll definitely take the time to reciprocate, and we'll make it really nice. So if you enjoyed today's video, this is a new type of content style for us, testing something else out. Let us know. Let me know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. We're trying to build up the channel. And until next time, keep on building, right? Trust the process, commit to the journey.